up everyone? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Lauren and my partner and I have fairly recently bought our first property together, which we are currently renovating. So we are doing a bit of a renovation vlog series. Along with the renovation vlogs, I do some organisation, kind of travel and lifestyle videos. So it would be absolutely wonderful if you would like to subscribe by hitting the subscribe button somewhere at the bottom of the screen right about now. Today's video comes courtesy of the absolutely fantastic Hinchin community and my two French bulldogs, Dallas and Oakley. You'll see behind me is one of my Chesterfield style sofas. It's not a real Chesterfield, and yeah, it's seen some better days. Those days were probably before we purchased it about 4 or 5 months ago. So I'm going to try and restore the sofa a little bit. There's loads of stains from the dogs, either slobber stains or some other stains. Yeah, and I have to thank the Hinchin community for this cleaning method, because I would never have thought of doing this. I follow the group on Facebook, Hinchin Tips and Tricks, and before I joined that group I hadn't even heard of this product, let alone thought you could use it on material to get rid of stains. The product is the elbow grease. Whenever I heard someone talk about using elbow grease to get stains out, I thought people were just being a little bit rude, to be quite honest. I didn't actually realise that it was a product, and I don't think it's a new product. I think it's been out for quite some time, but I think it's become one of those miracle products that people are really raving about at the moment. So I have purchased this. It was only about 89p from B&M, and I've been told that this will get out stains from pretty much anything. So yeah, I'm going to give that a go on the sofa. And with that I have purchased, it's kind of like a minky pad. It's not a minky pad, this is a bit of a knockoff. This was just from Savers and it was 89p as well. Yeah, the method is to spray on the elbow grease onto the stain, let it sit for 10 minutes and then give it a bit of a scrub down with the minky pad. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm a bit worried because it is a material and I'm worried that it's going to pull out some colour. I'm worried that it's going to damage the FAUX suede. And yeah, I'm a little bit apprehensive, but according to the Hinchin community it works. So we are going to give it a try and I'm going to show you if it does actually work. So this is one of the sofas in question. This was the 3-seater. And as I said, we purchased this about 4 or 5 months ago. And yeah, it's already looking a little worse for wear. I'm not happy about this. The dogs really kind of, you can see the stains here. This is all from dog slobber. So Oakley has a habit of chewing his paw and he won't stop chewing his paw. I don't know if it's an allergic thing or what, but yeah, he's caused a lot of stains from his chollers on the sofa. There's also lots of dog hair, which I'm going to hoover off. And you'll also see some other white marks, which I'll not go into what they are, but they are courtesy of the dogs as well. So I am going to give this a good hoover down and yeah, try this method of using the elbow grease and the minky pad to get these back into a nice, clean and restored order. That's most of the dog hair off the sofa now. What I'm going to do now is test on this part of the cushion, because obviously I'm a little bit apprehensive on whether this will work, and with it being this part of the cushion, the back bit, which is hidden anyway, at least if it does decide to pull out any colour or, you know, damage the FAUX suede, then at least it can be hidden, and then I can make a decision on whether to get rid of these ugly bits. just going to let that dry for a little bit. I'm quietly confident that it's not going to do any damage to the sofa. What we're looking at now, you can see it's still a bit wet there. So far so good. So far so good. Anyway, I'm gonna let this dry and see what stains remain. Might try it a second time, and if they still don't come out, maybe we know that this method isn't good for some faux suede. So the stains were still showing through those dark patches that were about there. So I did put another spray of elbow grease on those areas. I sprayed it all over because, you know, it might have dried in the same way that the dog's slavers dried. So I thought if I sprayed the whole thing, then it might dry out evenly, if that makes sense. It'll not leave some kind of like pattern, weird shape pattern. So I'm gonna see how that turns out. If it doesn't get those dark stains out, then there's nothing we can really do. I gave it a go, and a majority of the other stains have all come out, so we'll see when it dries whether it's a job sort of well done. This minky-esque thing is obviously discoloured now, and I'm hoping that the discolour here is the dirt rather than like the colour. I don't know what's happening there, but yeah, I think it's just the dirt rather than the colour. And if it's the colour, it doesn't look like it's done too much damage anyway, so yeah. It looks like it's picked up a lot of dirt. I don't think we're going to get rid of the deep stains. It's showing up a lot more on camera than it is in person, so I'm not too fussed at the moment. You can see like a line there, but in person you can't see it so much, so fingers crossed it's done its job. Okay, so it's about 15 minutes later. The sofas have all dried pretty well. Still a little bit of drying to do, but it's quite funny because actually on the camera it doesn't look as good as what it does in person. So just bear that in mind, that it does look a bit patchy, but in person it doesn't. But for the most part, the stains have come out. You know what, compared to what it was, I am really chuffed with that. Well, there you have it guys. I used a bit of elbow grease and my sofas are looking almost as good as new. We're not quite there yet, but I am happy with the results. So it's definitely a thumbs up for me. And speaking of thumbs up, if you liked this video, I would be really happy if you could go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!